everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session of English grammar, we are going to continue with our topic determiners. Now this is part 4 of determiners. So first of all, let us see what we are going to discuss in this session. Well, in this session, we will discuss the following topics. First of all, we'll discuss the uses of sum, determiner sum, and after that we'll discuss the uses of determiner any, and then various concepts of determiners and the difference between sum and any. So these things we are going to discuss in this session. So let's begin this session. First of all, we'll discuss the concept sum. Now, first of all, we'll discuss the usage of sum. Sum means a small number and quantity, or a small quantity of something, okay, or you can say a little quantity of something with uncountable nouns. Now if you find this word sum, this can be used with both countable as well as uncountable noun. So you can use it with both the types of noun, countable and uncountable. Okay, now here if we are talking about firstly we are talking about uncountable nouns. It means when we use this determiner sum with uncountable noun. Sum is used with uncountable nouns in singular form to indicate an indefinite quantity of something. Now what happens? Sum is used with uncountable nouns, and as you know well that uncountable nouns, they cannot be counted in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So here whatever uncountable noun is there, it is always considered singular. And if I'm using any if I'm using the word sum before an uncountable noun, of course this will behave in a singular form only. It means it will be considered singular. Okay, so we can say sum plus uncountable noun. Obviously uncountable noun is always considered singular, thus the verb that we will use, it should be according to the subject, therefore it should be singular as well. These are the things that you can't count individually, like liquids, grains, or abstract ideas. For example, if you say happiness, okay, if you say happiness, can you count happiness? No, not at all. If you say sugar, can you count sugar? No, not at all. Okay, if you talk about milk, water, can you count them? No, not at all. That is why these things are always considered singular. These things are always considered uncountable nouns, thus singular. Okay, you cannot count any kind of liquid. For example, you cannot count milk, you cannot count water, you can only measure them. Okay, thus these nouns are always considered singular. Thus we can use the word sum before them to show that we are talking about a little part of it. For example, if I say some milk, it means a little quantity of milk. Okay, now we can say some water, some rice, some information, we can say some advice. But I cannot say some advices. I cannot say some informations. Why so? Because information cannot be counted. Now some information means some processed data, or some data which has been processed. Okay, or some rice, it means a little amount of rice. Okay, now let us move to the next one. Here we'll discuss sum with countable nouns. Now countable nouns are those nouns which can be counted in terms of 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, now sum is used with countable nouns in the plural form to indicate an indefinite number of items. Indefinite number of items means look, when we talk about numbers, it can be divided into two parts, either definite or indefinite. The definite part is, for example, the definite part contains two parts. It can be further classified into two parts, that is, you can say ordinal number and cardinal numbers. Now cardinal numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and ordinal refers to first, second, third, fourth and so on. Okay, whereas indefinite numbers are those numbers which are basically used with countable nouns, but you don't know the exact quantity of that particular thing which you are referring to. For example, if I say many people, now can you exactly tell me that how many people I'm talking about? No. But if I say 500 people, yes, of course, I have an exact data that there are 500 people. Okay, if I say for example, if I say that 5 toffees, of course I can count them 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. But if I say a few toffees, Can you count a few toffees or can you count some toffees? No, not at all, because you don't know the exact number of that toffee. Obviously, toffees are countable, you can count them, but you cannot tell me the exact number of it because I'm only saying you that some toffees. Can you tell me the exact number of toffees now? No, not at all. Okay, so that number is known as indefinite number, where you cannot say the exact number of anything. Okay, so we can say some books, some cars, some apples, some friends, etc. Okay, now let us move to the next part of it. Okay, now only the thing that you should remember over here, that we are talking about books. Obviously books are countable, so if I'm saying some books, it means a few books, but how many books are there, the exact number no one can tell with the word some. But some refers to that there are a number of books which are more than one, but how much we don't know. Okay, and they are not too much. Okay, they are not too many, sorry. Okay, now let us move to the next one. Some is often used in affirmative statements or offers, while any is typically used in negative statements or questions. Now, this is very, very important about some and any. If we talk about the two words, some and any, and the difference between the two, the fundamental difference between the two words is the use of these two words. Some is basically used in affirmative sentences. It means positive sentences. And when we talk about negative sentences, we rather use the word any. For example, if I say, do you have some water? Yes. Do you have some water? So it is positive question. Well, this is a question. Let me let me take some affirmative sentence example. For example, I have some water, okay, or I have some food, or I have some chairs, okay. So this is affirmative sentence, okay. But if I say I don't have any money, okay, I do not have any money, I I don't have water, I don't have milk, I don't have food, okay. So when I don't have any food, I don't have any money, okay. I the negative sentence, I'm using the word any. Okay, I cannot say I don't have some money. Okay, I don't have any money. Okay, I don't have any apples. Okay, so in this manner we can use the word any in case of negative question, negative sentences, but in case of positive sentences we use some. However, one thing is more important about the interrogative sentences. Now let me explain you this. We have two structures, one is some and another is any. As I told you that some and any are used in positive or negative sentences. If we have the positive sentence, we use some. For example, I have some work. Okay, I have some work to do. I have some work. Suppose this is the sentence. Okay, now let me use this word any in the same type of sentence. If I say I have any work, is the sentence correct? No, it does not sound good as well. Okay, so I have some work, this cannot be said. Okay, sorry, I have not some work, or I don't have. Listen, suppose I write I don't have. Okay, I don't have, don't have means do not have. Okay, I don't have any work. Of course, I will say any work. I cannot say I don't have some work. Okay, I cannot say that. So I can say I don't have any work. Okay, so this will be the correct sentence. But I cannot say I don't have some work. That will be inappropriate. Well, this is actually the use of some and any in context of affirmative and negative sentence. Okay, when we talk about positive sentence, we use some, and in negative sentences, we use any. For example, I don't have any money. Okay, and I have some money. Okay, now here, if I talk about, though both of these can be used with countable as well as uncountable nouns, and also in case of singular and plural, because some, when used with countable noun, it can be used only with plural nouns. Okay, because if I say some, it must be more than one. So I can use some only with the plural nouns if they are countable. But if it is uncountable, obviously uncountable is always considered singular. Now, when we talk about interrogative sentences, this is about affirmative or negative sentence. Okay, but when we talk about interrogative sentences, now what happens? In case of interrogative sentences, here we have a part of some, and here we have a part of any. Now, let me explain you this. when we talk about these two cases, in case of interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences means question sentences. Now we see the expected answer or the most expected answer. For example, if I expect any answer which is positive, or if I expect a positive reply, though whatever it does not matter at all. I'm just talking about the expectation. It means when I ask the question, what is my expectation or what is my expected reply? I That only matters. What reply exactly comes, that does not matter at all. For example, you went you went home and you were very hungry. Now you asked your mother, do you have something to eat? So what are your expectations? That yes, there must be something to eat because you are feeling very hungry. Okay, so your expectations are that yes, there is something to eat in house. So if whatever your mother replies, that does not matter. But what are your expectations? That yes, I have some food. Okay, so here, because your expectations are that yes, the mother should give you the positive reply, so you will ask, do you have something to eat, or do you have some milk, do you have some water, do you have some burgers, like this. Okay, but if you expect the negative reply, for example, if you ask another person, do you have any problem? It means you are expecting that that another person whom you are asking, he should not have any problem in his life. Okay, so you will ask, do you have any problem? It means because you are expecting that he should not be in any problem. So you are expecting a negative reply from there. What the reply exactly comes, that does not matter. Okay, here the thing that matters is that your expectation. Okay, so when your expectation is positive reply, you will use the word some, and whenever your expectations are negative reply, you will use any. Okay, now let us get back to the sentences. Do you have any apples? Now here, maybe possible, your expectations are that the another person should say no. Okay, so you will ask any apples. However, you can also ask, do you have some apples? Because your expectation is yes. So here in this case, you can use either, that is any or some, as per your expectations. Now, some followed by a pronoun. When some is followed by a pronoun, the word of is used between some and the pronoun. Okay, for example, I can say some of them. Okay, it means after some we have a preposition, that is of, and after that we will have a pronoun. Now pronoun can be in the nominative case or the objective case or the possessive case, but of course if we are using of, that is a preposition, and preposition is always followed by the objective case. Okay, so here after of we will have the objective case of pronoun. Okay, now some of them are going to the concert. Now here you can see that we have used the word some, after that we have used of, the preposition, and then them, that is the pronoun in objective case. Okay, are going to the concert. I borrowed some of these from the library. Now these are actually the demonstrative pronouns, or you can say uh, these are the words which are indicating something which is near to us and in plural form. Okay, so I borrowed some of these from the library. Some of us will join the team for the project. So some of us is actually objective case of we. Have you met some of hers? Only some of it is relevant to our discussion. Some of it means a little part of it. Okay, in these examples, some is followed by of before introducing the pronoun, that is them, these, us, hers, or it. Okay, so all these are objective case of pronoun. Okay, you must notice this, that after some, if there any preposition comes like of, after that we may have pronouns, but only in objective case, though it can be possessive case as well. Okay, but after that a noun is necessary. You can say that objective case is necessary after that. Now, ways to use some with nouns. directly before the noun. So we can also use noun after the word some, but if I just use some plus noun, it means some is used as a determiner on an or an adjective, because when we have a structure like some word is written over here and after that we have noun, of course an adjective or an article or a determiner can qualify a noun. Okay, so directly before the noun. This is common when talking about an indefinite quantity of something, whether it is countable or uncountable. Some books. Now books are countable, so I have used the word some. Now some books refer to the state where it should be more than one book, but not many. Okay. Some water. Water is uncountable. Some water means a little amount of water. Some children, it means there are a few children which are more than one, but not so many. Okay. Some advice, it means again advice is uncountable, it means some pieces of advice. Okay, or you can say a few pieces of advice. Now with or before the noun. Now if I want to use the word some with or before the noun, how can I use that? With or before the noun. This is typically used when referring to a specific subset of a known or previously mentioned group of items or people. Now this typically used when referring to a specific subset of known. Okay, for example, if I say some of them or some of the books or some of the people, it means I'm talking about a particular group of people. Okay, some of the people were going there, it means I'm talking about a particular group of people which is known to everyone over there, the speaker and the listener. Some of the books in the library are rare. So some of the books, it means I'm talking about only a part of only some books, not all the books in the library, but about some books only. I drank some of the water you brought. Now here, the water you brought, it means this water is related to someone. It is particular. Okay. I'm not talking about any kind of water. I'm talking about only that water or only that quantity of water which you brought. Okay. So I'm talking about the definite water, because that water is particular. That is not everything. Okay. So I drank some of the water you brought. Some of the children in the class were absent. So some of the children, it means a group of children in the class were absent. Now, if I say some of the children here, if I say some of the children, obviously children are countable. Now, if I say some of the children, obviously there should be more than one, but not very much, or sorry, but not many. Okay. Now, if I say some of the children, suppose there are 50 children and I'm saying some of the children, it means maybe possible. I'm talking about 20. Obviously, the quantity which I'm picking from there is also plural. That is why we always use plural verb with it. So some of the children in the class were absent, because this some is also plural. I took some of the advice you gave me. Okay, some of the advice you gave me, it means a part of the advice which you gave me, I followed some of it. Okay. The distinction is that the first form refers to an unspecified quantity without referencing a known group, while the second form specifies a subset of a particular known group or quantity. Now let us move to the next page. Get some of the phrase usage. When we use some of the, this is a phrase usage. The phrase some of the is used when referring to a specific subset of a known or previously mentioned group. Okay. When we talk about some of the, it refers to a specific subset which is known or previously mentioned about it, in which suppose there is a sentence in which we have previously mentioned about a group, and we are talking about some of those quantities which are there in that part. Okay. For example, now here in this clause, if you see the word the, this is definite article used before a noun to refer to a specific item or items already known to the listener or the reader. Okay, when something is particular, we use the before it, and some of this phrase indicates a portion of a larger group, referring to the part of it, not the entire group. For example, if we have something like this and we are talking about some of, so it is referring to this part, not the entire part of it. Okay. Now, if I use some of with the, what will happen? Combining some of with the, when used together as some of the, it implies referring to a part of a specific known group. I ate some of the apples. Now here the apples are those apples which everyone over there are aware of, the listener as well as the speaker. Implies a known group of apples of which a portion was eaten. The next sentence is, I ate some apples. Now lacks clarity about which apples. They could be from any group or any general reference. Now some with a singular countable noun. Some with a singular countable noun. When some is used with a singular countable noun, it typically emphasizes a certain quality, often uniqueness, extraordinariness, or unattainability. Now whenever we talk about countable nouns, okay, if we say that we have to use some before countable nouns, obviously these countable nouns should be plural. But if the countable noun is singular, then why we are using the word some with it? To show this some part of that particular thing. It means here we have used that countable noun as uncountable, or you can say some shows the uniqueness or the quality of that particular person. For example, if I say some Mr. Tiwari is at the door, he wants to see you. Here, if I say some Mr. Tiwari, it means there is a person whose name is Mr. Tiwari. Suppose you are A and you are sitting with your sister who is B, and both of these A and B, they are sitting at their home. Sorry, they are sitting in their home. Okay, now the door knocks. Okay, and there is some Mr. T at the door. Now A went to the door and he opened the door. Now Mr. Tiwari asked for B and he wanted to meet B. Now A says to B, A comes to B and asks him or tells him that some Mr. Tiwari or some Mr. T wants to meet you. Now, because this Mr. Tiwari or Mr. T, he is unknown to A, but he is known to B, or maybe possible not. So here, this Mr. T is unknown to A. That is why A is saying that some Mr. Tiwari, in reference that he wants to say that there is a person whose name is Mr. T. He wants to meet you. Okay. The police found the bike parked at some place in Jaipur. Some place in Jaipur, it means at a place which is unknown to the speaker, but there is some place. The place is not still identified, or maybe possible it is not known to everyone. Now we'll discuss another word, that is any. The usage of any in English varies depending on whether it is used with countable or uncountable nouns, and it can have slightly different implications in singular and plural forms. Now with uncountable nouns, any is commonly used with uncountable nouns to refer to an indefinite amount, often in negative sentences or questions. Is there any water left? There is not any sugar in the pantry. Okay, so these are two negative sentences in which we have used the word any. Though the above sentence is not negative, but it is the positive interrogative sentence. So we can use any in interrogative as well as negative sentence. Okay. However, in case of interrogative, we must use the word any, keeping in mind the expected reply. Okay, so we can use any and some both in interrogative sentences, but as per the expectations of reply. Now let us move to the next one. With plural countable nouns, how do we use any? With plural countable nouns, when used with plural countable nouns, any refers to an indefinite number or amount, again often in negative sentences or questions. For example, do you have any books on the science? Sorry, do you have any books on science? It means the speaker is asking for a book which is related to science. Okay, and that can be any book. Okay, he's not talking about a particular book. She does not have any friends in the city. Now this sentence is negative, so she does not have any friends. It means she has not a single friend in this city. Now let us move to the next one. With singular countable nouns. With singular countable nouns, the usage of any with singular countable nouns is less common and typically occurs in more formal or conditional context, often implying that it does not matter which one is chosen or considered. If any member has an objection, they should speak now. Okay, if any member, it means we are not talking about a particular member over here. It can be any member who has an objection. He can come and speak. Okay. Any student caught cheating will be penalized. It means there is no specific student. There can be any student caught cheating. If he was caught cheating, he will be penalized. Okay, so the rule is applicable for all the students. The word any itself does not imply, does not inherently carry a negative meaning. It is often used in both negative context when combined with negative constructions and in questions or conditional statements. In negative sentences, any is frequently used with negative verbs to indicate a lack of something. She does not have any money. There are not any tickets left. Okay, so in this manner we can use the word any in case of negative sentences. Now in questions, when used in questions, any is used to inquire about the existence or availability of something without implying a negativity. Okay, do you have any ideas? So if you have any ideas, yes, then here any word is incorrect. Here should come, do you have some ideas? Okay, but if you say no, I don't have any ideas, then this word any is correct. Is there any coffee left? So if you want to ask that, uh, is there any coffee left? So we can also say, is there some coffee left? Okay, now let us move to the next one. In conditional statements, so what treatment we do with conditional statements? Now in case of conditional sentences refers to those conditional sentences refer to those sentences which are made of the conditions. When there is condition, where we can see the conditions. In conditional statements, any is also used in conditions to refer to all possible items or instances, irrespective of which one. If you find any problems, let me know. Okay, so if shows the condition that if you find any problems. So this is a condition, let me know. Okay, anyone who meets the criteria can apply. So this is the condition to apply, that anyone who meets the criteria. So the condition is that you should meet the criteria, only then you can apply. Okay, now let us move to the next one. In affirmative sentences. In affirmative sentences, while less common, any can be used in affirmative statements, usually to imply that all choices or instances are included. Any book by this author is worth reading. Okay, any book means any. It is not specific that only we are talking about this book. It can be any book. It means if you read any book of this author, all are good, all are worth reading, whatsoever you pick up. Okay. Any contribution will be appreciated. It means any type of contribution. If you donate the clothes, if you donate the money, anything. Okay, the negative or positive connotation of any largely depends on the context of the sentence in which it is used, especially in terms of the presence of negative constructions like not, never, no, etc., the structure of the question or condition. Now, the use of any and any of in the sentences depends on whether you are referring to items from a specific group or in general, and whether you are dealing with the singular or plural nouns. Uses of any. So the first one is with with uncountable nouns. When you are talking about uncountable noun, you use any to refer to a part of an entire category of something. Is there any water left? Okay, so is there any water? Water is uncountable, and before that we have used the word any to show that even a single drop of water. Okay. With plural nouns, it is used to refer to one, several, or items within the category. So do you have any questions? Okay. Now with singular countable nouns in formal conditional contexts, it can be used with singular countable nouns in more formal or conditional context. If any person disagrees, they should speak up now. Okay. Uses of any of, so we can also use preposition of after the word any, referring to a particular items within a group. When you are referring to the specific items out of a known defined group, you use any of. This is typically used with the plural nouns. Any of the books on the shelf can be borrowed. So we are talking about only those books which are kept on the shelf, whereas however, we are talking about those books which can be any. Okay. With pronouns, it is also used with pronouns. If any one of them is interested, they can join us. In essence, any is generally used when referring to things in general, unspecified sense, while any of is used to refer to a specific subset of a known group. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Now when we use the word any plus different, the word any can be used in expressions like any different, any good, any used to add emphasis or to question the effectiveness, usefulness or change in the status of something. Any different, it is, and is this approach any different from what we have tried before? In this sentence, any different is used to question whether there is a noticeable or significant difference compared to a previous situation. Any different means which shows that there is something different this time. Okay. Any good, is this in this new software any good for editing videos? Okay. Any good means does it have any good quality? Okay. Here any good is questioning the quality of usefulness of the software for a specific purpose. Now the next one is any use. Is this old material any use to your any use to you for your project? So any use means anyhow, if it is beneficial. This phrase queries the utility of helpfulness of the mutual for the project in question. Not any and no are often used interchangeably, but their usage is not always identical. They both convey the absence of something, but their use can depend on the sentence structure and stylistic preference. Okay. Now, not any, we can also use the phrase not any. Not any is typically used in a structure where the negation not is already part of the sentence, and any is used to specify that there is none of something in a particular category. For example, there are not any apples left in the basket. Not any means not even a single unit is left. Okay. I don't have any money. It means I don't have even a single penny of money. It means there is no amount which is with me or which is left with me. Okay, if I say not already is a part of the sentence, so if I say I don't have any money, there are not any apples, it means there is not even a single number of it. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Now we'll discuss the word no. No is more straightforward and is used directly before a noun to indicate the absence of something. Now no is an adjective first of all, whereas not is actually the adverb. Okay, for example, there are no apples left in the basket. So you can see apples. Apples are nouns before which we have used the word no. I have no money. Now money is again noun before which we have used the word no. Now no word is basically used before, no is an adjective which is basically used before noun. Whereas when we talk about the word not, there is a difference between no and not. That is, no is an adjective whereas not is an adverb, which is basically used before the verb, adjective and adverb or other adverbs. For example, I can say he's not going. Okay, so going is verb before which we have used the word not no. I cannot say I'm no going. Okay. In terms of meaning, there are not any apples, there are no apples convey the same thing, that there are zeros. So while they can often be confused interchangeably, the choice between not any and not and no can depend on the context, emphasis on the style of the sentence. Okay. Now some and any. What is the difference between some and any? Usage of some and any. So some in affirmative sentences, used in affirmative sentences to indicate an unspecified amount more than zero, implies a limited undefined quantity. Examples, I have some friends coming overnight or over tonight. She bought some apples. In offers and requests, Commonly used in questions when making offers or requests. Examples: would you like some coffee? Can I have some sugar? So both these sentences. Would you like to have some coffee or would you like some coffee? So here some is the positive word, but we have used it before come just to show that the expected answer of this is yes. Can I have some sugar? So here the expected reply may not be yes, therefore you are using the word some sugar, but you are using the word can. Okay, maybe possible you expect that the answer will be correct, so you are using the word some over here. Now let us move to the next one. Any in negative sentences, used in negative sentences to indicate absence or non-existence. Examples: I don't have any money, there aren't any tickets left. In questions commonly used in general inquiries. Examples: do you have any ideas or do you have any idea? Yes, is there any water left? Okay. In conditional sentences used in conditional statements, for example, if you find any problems, let me know. Okay. Now we'll discuss the difference between some and any and something and anything. Now first of all, some versus any. So some versus any, some are used in affirmative sentences for an unspecified but finite amount, also in offers or requests. Examples: I have some money, would you like some apples? So sorry, would you like some help? So these are two different sentences. One is I have some money. Okay, would you like some help? Okay, so these two are the sentences which we can use the word with the usage of word some and any. Any common in questions in negative sentences referring to any amount or kind without limitation. Examples: do you have any questions? She does not have any time. Okay. Then something versus anything. Something used in affirmative context for unspecified item. Something means a little amount of something. Okay. Emphasizes the presence of notable or a specific thing. Examples: there is something in my eye. Okay. She knows something about this issue. It means there is some particular information which she has about the issue. Okay. Now, anything used in questions in negative sentences, meaning any one of the numbers of things without specificity. Did you hear anything? It means we are just asking that if somebody has heard something, no matter whether it is going on or not, but if you feel that something is there or something from the far distance coming to your ears, you can use this question. Okay, now let us move to the next now here we end. I hope this much is clear to you all. So the differences between some and any and the use of some and any, I hope this much is clear to you all. So if you want to learn more determiners, stay with me. So if you want to learn more determiners, stay connected with me, and till then, thanks to you.